The Hugh Jackman Diaries.
Woke up with a splitting headache, a dry mouth and a wet groin. Been partying with Steph and Dennis again. We got totally pomeranced. Memory of the night was hazy. I opened my eyes. The traffic driving past and the pedestrians stepping over me suggested I may have been outside. I didn't have the strength to move. School kids started showing up all around me. I got one of them to call Peckerhead Baz Luhrmann and tell him to come down here pronto. It's an emergency. Baz showed up an hour later. I asked him what it was I was slumped against. He said, a school gate. I said, okay, now fuck off. School gate. That's right. I'd agreed to give a talk at my old school for some anniversary they were having. Stefan must have left me here, pushed me out of the cab on the way home. What a mate. The principal came out to meet me. He helped me up and I suggested maybe he give me his pants on account of mine being soaked in my urine and that of up to 4 other A-list celebrities, not naming any names, human nature. I used my powers of negotiation and my powers of headlock to get him to change his mind. He asked what the hell is the matter with me. With coolness and sophistication, I flipped him the bird. The whole school had gathered in the hall. Some old goon from the Lions Club was saying a few words about community and about being a lame-ass Lions Club jerk-off or something. Moments before I was to go on stage, and I just wasn't in the mood, wasn't in the zone. That never happens to me. I had to do something to pep me up, so I ran onto the stage and tackled the Lions Club goon to the ground. I was going to give him a suplex, but he just lay there clutching his shoulder. No sense of theatre. I looked out to the sea of school kids' faces. I still wasn't in the zone. I didn't know what to do. Oh, hello? What's this in my pocket? Why, it appears to be some kind of hip flask. Stefan, you're too good. What can you say about a mate who puts a hip flask of chartreuse in your pocket before pushing you out of a cab outside a school you're talking at? That's some serious Anzac shit right there. I stood there and sculled the flask. The kids went nuts. Don't tell me a grown man sculling alcohol isn't good children's entertainment. I stepped up to the microphone. This is what I said. Students of 2009, as you go through life, remember the 2 most important people in life to look out for are yourself and me, Hugh Jackman. Always be careful with your money. Whenever a charity asks for money for sick people or poor people or something, remind them of a thing called survival of the fittest. You'll have a lot of people tell you that doing your best is all that counts. Not true. Sometimes, instead of doing your best, it's easier to just prevent others from doing their best. You think it was coincidence Terry Godfrey got both his legs broken around the same time we were both going for the lead in Brigadoon at this very school? There's your level playing field right there. Don't ever get in a card game with Jennifer Kite. And if you ever get in a bit of trouble with the law, do whatever you can to get Rodney Roode to represent you in court. He doesn't know shit about legal stuff, but he's piss funny. You'll laugh your ass off. Chartreuse is awesome, but if you can't get chartreuse, then anything else will do. Don't ever be racist. Learn to accept all races, even the shit ones. The best sock puppet show I ever saw was done by Richie Benno. No shit. If you ever get an invite to one of his puppet parties, then move heaven and earth to get there. Respect your parents and teachers. Sorry, did I say that? What I meant to say was, fuck 'em. Aside from being on your back all the time, what have they ever done for you? And when was the last time a Hollywood legend like me made you do your fucking homework? I'll tell you now, you can learn all you need to know about life from my film X-Men Origins Wolverine. There are things in there you won't get in any textbook, I'll tell you that now. Remember, teachers don't know everything. If they did, they wouldn't have left me alone in the staff room with their mobile phones earlier. Some of them will find they've had long-distance calls made on their phones. Some will have had photos of Hugh Jackman's old fella sent to every name on their phone. At this point, I noticed one of the teachers looked like Chevy Chase. I met Chevy Chase once. I told him I had a birthmark on my ass that was the same shape as his missus. So I point at this teacher and I crack up. I said, hey, look everyone, it's Chevy Chase. Then I started singing Who You Gonna Call, Ghostbusters, over and over again. Don't know why, it just came to me. The kids joined in. The teachers tried to calm them down, but they wouldn't be silenced. The atmosphere was electric. It lifted me. I picked up the old Lions Club goon and completed the suplex. The place erupted. The kids went wild. I stood before them, lit a cigarette, and raised my fists. Their hero, their voice, the embodiment of their dreams. That's me, Hugh Jackman.
The Hugh Jackman Diaries.